there's a strong correlation between risk and ethics. It's really important that companies look at the sustainability of their business in the long term. So whilst a decision may be taken that has perhaps a questionable ethical base, may realise a short-term profit, I think it's important that boards realise there may be a long-term downside if those companies then suffer through brand or reputational attrition as a result of that decision. It's often not the position of the compliance representative to point out those aspects in detail to senior management. But I think it is incumbent on a risk manager to state out the case clearly that short-term gain may lead to long-term pain. However, it's not the decision of the risk manager. The risk manager's job is to put that information in front of the board and the senior management, and then they take the appropriate decision they see fit in the circumstances. But the risk manager should be aware of those potential issues and should highlight that. The information needs to go to the right people so they can take decisions in the full knowledge of that information. It's interesting to talk about the differences between the audit team, the compliance team, and the risk team. Audit is essentially a process of looking at what's going on in an organisation, mainly from a financial and IT perspective, and confirming that the systems that the company put in place are actually being implemented. And it also adds a bit of enforcement. So essentially, audit, with the best will in the world, is a sort of historical facing function in the organisation. So essentially they're looking at, what did we say we were going to do? We said we were going to implement these 100 systems. Have we implemented them? Are there anybody breaking the rules? Are there any issues around that? Are there any things we need to improve for the future? So it has a forward-looking aspect, but that tends to be subservient to the backward-looking historical analysis. Compliance falls into sort of the same area, but perhaps is a little bit more proactive. So again, looking at what are the laws and regulations we need to follow in the industry, how are we doing with that, how far have we got to go, who else do we need to train, how do we need to prepare for what's coming in the future. But that final bit of preparing for the future is still a relatively small part of the exercise. Most of the exercise is about the existing laws and how we behave with respect to those laws. Risk management is much more about looking totally to the future. So actually, in short term, I don't care which risks didn't make us go bust yesterday. I care about the one risk that will make us go bust tomorrow. And a good risk management system should be about looking forward, proactively, creatively, trying to work out where that risk is going to come from and making sure we're prepared so that it doesn't impact us any worse than our peers.